So we'd like to thank Devamrita Swami for coming and sharing his wisdom with us. And yeah. So let's go now for questions. You're welcome to raise your hand or ask a question. We'll run the microphone over to you. Let's see if we can do that.
Thank you. Really, Swami. Thank you for the discourse. And my question is not so much pertaining towards the actual topic that we discussed today, but it's more in general in the yogic sense. And that is to understand how we could awaken or understand the usage of the Kundalini in order to bring about an internal energy source to help push ourselves through understanding more of this plane of material and interior.
The Kundalini refers to subtle material energies. There is so much to this body that we're not aware of. In other words, there's so much about the material realm that we don't understand. There are psychic powers, which are not spiritual, by the way. They're material powers, but they're much more subtle than the gross physiology that we're mostly acquainted with. So the Kundalini refers to such subtle material energy, which is more powerful than the kind of material energies we're most familiar with. But beyond that subtle material energy is something else. That is the energy of the non-material self, the spirit soul. That kind of power has the capacity to transform your lifestyle as well as the whole world. But you'll not see any change in your life or in the world based on material power, whether gross physiological material power or subtle psychic material power. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Swami. I'm from the United States, so my cousin is Trump. But I have a question for you. Based on what you're talking about, I have friends that want to resist him, and there's people around the world that want to resist him. But based on what you just told us, I don't know if that's really the best way of doing it, because they're seeing the president as a person, as an entity, as a body. So do you have any suggestions on what my friends can do, or what we can do around the world?
In a democracy, you get the leaders that you deserve. Whether it's this one or that one, they didn't force themselves into office. People voted for them. So therefore we have to question the capacity of the voters. Therefore, I'm pointing out that if we're going to see a change in the world, there has to be a transformation of consciousness. When people are of low consciousness, they elect a leader that appeals to that. If you raise the consciousness of the people, then they'll elect a leader who, well, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the qualities of a real leader. Control the mind, control the senses. Honest, speaks truthfully, and has both wisdom and applied spiritual experience. When the population is educated as to what are the qualities of a real leader, then you'll see a difference. Otherwise, you can't really blame the voters, and you can't blame the leaders they elect. Both match up. That's the tragedy. So I pointed out some statistics. Since you're from the USA, which city?
Houston, Texas.
New York City. Why does supposedly the most powerful nation in the world spend more on the military than the next 8 nations combined, and yet now wants to increase the military budget by $58 billion while being unable to provide health care for all its citizens? There's something wrong. So whether it's this leader or that leader, if we are blind to the purpose of human life, self-realization, enlightenment, then we're going to continue to perpetuate such illusions. So the fault is ours. Thank you.
Good evening, Swami. I just wondered, in the pursuit of material happiness and enlightenment and all that kind of thing, do you think that that can cause more unhappiness trying to attain enlightenment?
That's a very good question. In the 18th chapter of Bhaktivedanta, and I do hope you'll read that, Krishna explains that there's a kind of happiness that seems like poison in the beginning, but is sweet nectar at the end. And there's a kind of happiness that seems so sweet in the beginning, but... Everyone knows about that stuff. What is the happiness, though, that seems to be like poison in the beginning, but turns out to be the greatest acquisition? That is the happiness of the genuine yogi, who learns how to control the mind and senses and how to purify the lifestyle so that the lifestyle becomes a gateway for the highest pleasure. In the beginning, it may seem difficult, but as you increase your higher taste, the activities of the genuine transcendentalists become more and more palatable. Maybe you have experience of doing something that was seemingly difficult at first. Difficult meaning, it's not that you just loved taking piano lessons, for example, in the beginning, or you loved learning how to read, or you loved learning how to ride a bicycle before you could balance yourself. But you stuck to it, and gradually you got a feel for it. You see, the problem is we're so conditioned by this material illusion that material happiness will satisfy us. We live in consumer societies, and those consumer societies raise us with the mistaken notion that you are this body, and by pleasing your body, you'll be happy. And by pleasing someone else's body, they'll be happy. By everyone pleasing everyone's body, the whole world will be happy. World peace through hedonism without restraint. It's not working out. So at first, the withdrawal symptoms may seem a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's like, I was never a coffee drinker, but those of you who tried to stop drinking coffee, it gets a little uncomfortable the first couple of days because you're so habituated. But if you just persist beyond a little, minimal discomfort, you are quickly finding you've tapped into pleasure beyond what you could conceive of. And that is one reason why we stress in Bhakti Yoga the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra. Because through sound vibration, you can easily fly over that discomfort stage and make your ultimate connection through sound. The right sound can free you from illusion, the wrong sound can put you deep into illusion. So this is why a major part of the Bhakti Yoga system is mantra meditation. The very Sanskrit word mantra means a particular sound that can free your mind from illusion. So yes, ordinarily it would be difficult to restrain yourself from the illusion and attach yourself to the Supreme. But if you strive by the right methods, it actually is easy. I mean, what am I doing here? Born in New York, grew up in Manhattan. My friends at the university all knew me as a pleasure lover. What happened? It's not that I couldn't get a job or something, so I decided to become a monk. I had my share, you know. But remember, my friends considered I was a pleasure lover. They knew they could count on me to find the best times in New York City. But I thought, my reputation is not justified. If I don't know pleasure without a beginning or end, then how can I be a genuine pleasure lover? So I need knowledge of what is the greatest pleasure and how to get it. So that became my quest. So, all right, you might say wasn't it a little difficult to detach yourself from the illusions? Not really. And that's why the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, that sound vibration plays such an important role in Bhakti Yoga. Because it gets you through that withdrawal stage by immediately putting you in touch with superior pleasure. So that's how I did it, if you want to know my secrets. Yes.
Namaste, Swamiji. What you just described about sound meditation or mantra meditation and how it plays a role in your mind, I've heard that before as well, and I'm going to try to practice that, but somehow I don't seem to understand, and hence I think I don't feel the result of sound or my consciousness. Or could you enlighten me on that, please?
Yes, it depends on daily practice. You see, for so long we've been in illusion. It just takes a little daily practice, a little daily investment of time, and you become like a child who doesn't seem to know how to walk, but just by trying a bit, that walking ability naturally emerges. Everything depends on your priorities, you know. If you really want to do something, you'll do it, won't you? Remember that. So speaking of the Maha Mantra, I'd like to personally lead you in a mini kirtan session. Kirtan means the public togetherness chanting of the Maha Mantra. I'll sing a simple tune because it's not so much the complexity of the tune that's important, it's the sincerity of the heart. Like we did at the start of the program, I'll sing first and then you kindly respond. And I'll just do it for a short time as our grand finale. This mantra is the call for freedom from material existence and attachment to the supreme source of pleasure. This sound vibration is capable of dispelling the fog of our illusions, thinking, I am this body, I am this mind. This sound vibration is capable of reviving our awareness of our non-material self in relation to the Supreme Self. Let's try it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right.